Have you ever wondered why some startups soar to success while others plummet into oblivion? It's a question that has intrigued many, and one that Peter Thiel attempts to answer in his groundbreaking book, 0 to 1. Thiel, a successful entrepreneur and venture capitalist himself, believes that the key lies in whether you're an innovator or an imitator. The central theme of his book revolves around the idea of creating something entirely new, something that takes us from 0 to 1, as opposed to simply copying what already exists, which only moves us along the same line. His book is a treasure trove of insights for anyone with a startup or entrepreneurial aspirations. It provides a fresh perspective on innovation, challenging conventional wisdom, and encouraging readers to think differently about their ventures. So, are you ready to challenge the status quo and break free from the crowd? Dive into the world of startups, innovation, and the power of thinking from 0 to 1. Does the future hold limitless possibilities, or does it have a finite set of outcomes? This is the question that the first chapter of Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, grapples with. The chapter delves into the concept of definite and indefinite optimism and how these two contrasting views can shape the course of a startup. Definite optimism, as Thiel describes, is a belief in a better future with a clear plan to achieve it. It's about having the confidence to set ambitious goals and the determination to reach them, no matter what. On the other hand, indefinite optimism is the belief in a better future, but without a clear idea of how to get there. It's a hopeful, yet uncertain outlook. These different perspectives can greatly influence a startup's direction and growth. Definite optimists chart a course and stick to it, while indefinite optimists keep their options open, ready to pivot when necessary. So which one are you? Remember, predicting the future isn't a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Could the dot-com crash of the early 2000s hold important lessons for today's entrepreneurs? Indeed, it could. This chapter delves deep into the dot-com bust, a period of significant upheaval in the tech world. We saw a surge of startups, each promising to be the next big thing, fueled by the excitement and optimism of the late 1990s. But as we know, that bubble burst. The causes, a blend of over-optimism, lack of sustainable business models, and a general disregard for the fundamentals of business. The crash sent shockwaves through the startup culture, forcing a reality check. It led to a more cautious approach, with an emphasis on profitability and sustainability rather than just growth. The dot-com crash serves as a reminder for all entrepreneurs. It's crucial to learn from past mistakes, to understand that while innovation and ambition are vital, they need to be grounded in sound business strategies. History may not repeat itself, but it does rhyme, so heed its lessons. What sets successful companies apart from the rest? This is a question that often bounces around in the entrepreneurial world. The answer, put simply, lies in their uniqueness. Successful companies are not mere carbon copies of existing models. Rather, they carve out their own niche, their own corner of the market that no one else can touch. This is more than just a strategy. It's a philosophy. It's about creating a monopoly, not in the traditional negative sense of the term, but in a positive, innovative way. It's about being the only player in the game that can offer a particular product or service to the point where competition becomes irrelevant. The key to this monopoly is uniqueness. But we're not just talking about being different for the sake of being different. No, it's about creating something so distinct, so perfectly tailored to a specific need that it simply can't be replicated. Uniqueness isn't just about being different, it's about creating something that can't be replicated. Is competition always the best policy? Let's ponder on this. We're often told that competition is healthy, that it drives us to be better, to push boundaries. But what if I told you that excessive competition could actually be a hindrance to innovation? Surprised? Here's the thing. When we're constantly looking over our shoulder trying to outdo our rivals, we tend to lose sight of our unique vision. We become so focused on beating the competition that we forget to innovate, to create something truly different. Competition narrows our focus, restricts our creativity, and ultimately it can deter innovation. But escaping the rat race, carving out your own unique path, that's where the magic happens. That's where you find the opportunity to create something truly unique, something that sets you apart from the rest. So remember, in the world of business, sometimes to win is to avoid competition. Is being the first mover always an advantage? Well, not necessarily. In the world of business, we often hear about the first mover advantage. But what about the last mover advantage? The last mover advantage is the idea that businesses that enter the market later can learn from the mistakes of their predecessors, perfect their product or service, and ultimately capture a larger market share. These are the enduring monopolies, the businesses that don't just flash brightly and fade away, but rather they grow, scale, and dominate. Take the example of Google. There were plenty of search engines before Google came along, but Google learned from their mistakes, improved the product, and now they virtually own the search engine market. Being a last mover isn't about being slow, it's about being strategic. It's about perfecting your product, scaling your business, and capturing the market. So remember, in the race of business, the last mover often takes the winner's podium. So, what does it truly mean to go from 0 to 1? Well, let's take a step back and revisit the key concepts we've been dissecting from Peter Thiel's insightful book. The crux of the matter is innovation over imitation. It's not about following the crowd or copying what's already been done. The real magic happens when we dare to step into uncharted territories, when we're bold enough to create something new, something unique. That's the essence of going from 0 to 1. Remember how we talked about the challenge of the future? It's not a problem we can solve by sticking to the status quo or by looking at historical trends alone. The future is a complex, multifaceted beast that demands fresh perspectives and out-of-the-box thinking. It's about learning from history, yes, but also about not being chained to it. Then there's the power of monopoly. Contrary to popular belief, monopolies aren't inherently evil. In fact, they can be the driving force behind significant innovation. A company that has a monopoly has the resources, the time, and the motivation to innovate. It's not caught up in the rat race trying to outdo its competitors. It's free to explore, to experiment, and to push boundaries. And let's not forget the potential of the last mover advantage. Being the first might be glamorous, but being the last, the one who perfects a concept or a product, that's where the real power lies. It's about learning from the mistakes of others, improving upon their ideas, and ultimately creating something that stands the test of time. In the end, the journey from 0 to 1 isn't just about building a successful startup, it's about creating a future that makes a difference. It's about leaving a legacy that goes beyond profit margins and market shares. It's about making a lasting impact, an impact that changes the world for the better.